much. I'm Joshua, and I work for Renuo as a software engineer, and I'm also here as the sponsor for Deployo. So if you want to look up what this is, it's very interesting. But now I have about 5 minutes to prime you on the topic of bullshit graphs. I'm collecting interesting graphs, and this is a quick run through 5 concepts about how one can cheat with graphs. This will be a very quick ride, I guess. And first, I'll explain to you how this all started. There is actually a course at the University of Washington called Calling Bullshit. It's really worth a visit. There is a lecture online with 10 hours of video, which are very entertaining. They cover Pizzagate or the prosecutor's fallacy, statistical regressions, biases, reproducibility of studies, and so on. But they also have a nice glossary of graph mistakes or of graph cheats. And I want to go through 5 examples of that. This is the first example. I made a questionnaire and asked people whether they like fresh juice over concentrate. And very plausibly, people did. Right. Well, not so fast. I'm comparing apple juice with orange concentrate. So don't compare apple with oranges. Next one. Many of you are probably aware of the spurious correlations. So that correlation is not necessarily causation. Right? So storks deliver babies, here is the claim. And this graph is actually kind of true. That's a problem here. It has a common cause to both variables. That's why you can say something like that. But not because the correlation is not the causation, because it's a common cause. You just go with country size, and then you can basically say whatever you want. The next one, every startup likes to do this, right? Not even startups. Tim Cook at least has the decency to label what the mistake is here. You just add up stuff to look great. And if you really have an effect size, you can make it bigger by shortening the axis. And please do it inconsistently. So shorten at 35%, 45%, and then 50%. So to really make your point. Right? Or you can also prove that nothing happens here by just prolonging the axis. And I think it would be even better to start at 0 Kelvin instead of Fahrenheit. At least it's Fahrenheit. Then there is an effect of proportional ink. So Android seems to have a much larger market share than it actually had, because the blue area covers about 70% of the picture and not 50% as it actually should. This one is more tricky, but I like that Ronan, this is a good one, because it tells you basically that punk, metal, rap, and hip-hop musicians die early. Seems plausible. They're violent genres. It's full of violence all the time. But actually, Sisters are still playing, I heard, and Cradle of Filth is also still playing. So the mistake here is that you're right censoring the newer genres. The newer genres, there people still live. They didn't die yet. And this is one I just like, if you understand Venn diagrams. So, let me summarize. First concept, don't compare apple with oranges. There might be a common cause to what you're seeing if it's just weird or too obvious. Then people add up stuff to look good. They shorten or prolong in the axis. to make their point very visually clear. And then there are cohort effects, like the one we saw with right censoring. Yes, and I hope the time actually did pass, because I can prove the time does not pass. Thank you very much for your time.